Good morning. We are about 10 miles from my campsite. We are at a place called Hole in the Rock. Now there are several holes in the rock in Utah. This is not one of the more famous ones. This is kind of an obscure one. And I'm here to see some rock art. Here's the first little bit I've come across. Looks like a bighorn sheep. Here's some more. Again, not super impressive. Very nice. All right, on now to today's second destination, which is probably, I don't know, 20 miles away on the dirt roads here. Another one out here. Got to the second parking spot. This place is called the Devil's Kitchen. Here's the first boulder with rock art on it. Boulder number 2. That's an interesting design. What do you think that is? Alright, back at the car. I need to take a look at my map to see what's next on the agenda. I think I'm heading out to a mountain out here. So this is actually the mountain that I had wanted to climb. We'll see what the weather is like, but there's something on the north side of the mountain actually that I want to see first, if I can get there. This mountain is called Pahvant Butte, or Pavant Butte. I don't know how you say it, but it's a pretty interesting old volcanic something or another. So this is what I came out here to see. This is called the Lace Curtain. That bird is not happy that I'm here. But as I understand it, this whole area used to be under Lake Bonneville, which was an ancient lake that covered most of Utah, and eventually it drained away, and now the Great Salt Lake is what remains of that lake. The shore of Lake Bonneville lapped up against this this mountain here and just wore away this cliff and exposed the rock here. This is a really interesting rock. It's close to a couple hundred feet tall, I'd say. Nothing out here. Here's looking straight up the tallest portion of the cliff. Also the most sheer. What a place. There's that bird again, screaming at me. You know what, the weather is holding. I think the wind is blowing these more ominous looking rain clouds away. So I'm gonna climb this thing. Climb to the top of the butte. I'm gonna drive along this little side road a little bit and then go basically straight up the side, go up the steep side. I'm at, I think, like 5,700 feet here, and the top is at 6,700 feet, so it's almost exactly 1,000 vertical feet of elevation gain. I should be able to do that in an hour. It'll be steep and it'll be a thigh and a quad buster, but I should be able to make it happen. Alright, I decided to just leave my car parked at the lace curtain here and walk up this little side road for a couple hundred feet until I get to the point where I want to head up the mountain. And I misspoke before. This is at 4,700 feet and the top is at 5,700 feet. I had those numbers 1,000 feet higher. Okay, I think I'm gonna climb up to the top of this ridge and then just follow it all the way to the top. There are some hikes that you do just for the hike itself, where the journey really is the destination. That is not the case here. This hike is going to be terrible. For me, the summit is the destination. So let's get to this and I'll see you at the top. All right, made it to the top. Pretty great views from up here. This is really the only mountain in this really big valley. So I parked down here. That's where the lace curtain is. That's the direction I came up from. I wanted to fly the drone up here, but it's just too windy. That's too bad. It took 43 minutes to get up here. And I guess I'll head back down now. Not much else to say. It's cold, it's windy. I want to get back to the warmth of my car. I just felt like doing something physical, so this fit the bill. Anyway, I'll head back down now. I'm thankful that the weather held. Sad that I can't fly the drone, but that's okay. I'll see you when I get back down to the car. So this is what's left of an old fort called Fort Deseret. Sign here says, built in 1866 of adobe mud by two teams of 98 men to protect the settlers during Black Hawk Indian Wars. A bunch of these forts were built in Utah. This is the only adobe one that's still left. I've been here once before, actually. I came here about 5 years ago. Still looks about the same. Not a whole lot to see, but I thought I'd show you anyway. I think it's cool that you can still see the straw in the mud. Some sections have fallen apart. Looks like they've kind of melted. Others are being held up by some posts. I'm guessing this never had a roof on it or anything like that, just a perimeter wall to help protect and make the area easily defensible. It is a kind of a miserable day. It's cold and windy and blustery and raining on and off. Maybe I'll go home tonight. Sorry for the wind out there. But yeah, like I was saying, maybe I'll just go home tonight instead of camping again. There are only a few things left on my list here that I wanted to see. It's kind of sad, actually. But it'd be nice to see Cassie, of course. Great to see my wife and take a shower and everything. Anyway, I'll figure that out and then I'll go see the remaining couple of things that I wanted to see in this general area. So this is what I came here to see. This is bizarre, all right. Let me read to you what one thing I read online said about this. This is the site of a company that was running a tax scam to take advantage of the solar tax incentives the government was offering. The IRS pressed charges and the site was frozen and has sat abandoned since then. So yeah, this was some sort of like failed solar R&D project that was a tax scam. Isn't that interesting? So this place is on private property, so I can't like go up to them, but I can zoom in once I get out there. It's raining, so I'm not going to spend too much time outside, but we'll take a little bit of a closer look. Wild, isn't it? They look like something science fiction-y. Very odd. Very odd. I'll put some links in the description if you want to read more about this place. Alright, there's one more thing I want to see. Then we'll be done for the day. Topaz. So I am at the site of Topaz Internment Camp. This is a World War II internment camp for Japanese Americans. At the start of World War II, FDR signed into law some sort of act saying that Japanese Americans needed to, well, basically he assumed they weren't loyal to the United States, and so he signed into law the forced relocation of many of them, of 120,000 of them, to various internment camps. There were 10 of these camps around the western US. I've been to, I think, 3 or 4 of them now. There's not much here, so this used to be it. It was a 1 square mile area, and this particular camp, Topaz, held 8,000 detainees. There's really nothing to see here now. None of the buildings are left. I'm sure there are some, you know, foundations and footings out here. You can actually drive out throughout the 1 square mile. But anyway, they were here for up to 3.5 years. It's just a really bad part of American history that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah, the sign here says that in February 1942, President Roosevelt signed an executive order, and without any judicial hearings or due process, more than 120,000 people of Japanese ancestry were forcibly uprooted from their homes and taken under armed guard for relocation and detention in a system of assembly centers and internment camps. Here's what the site would have looked like. Basically just a city of buildings out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. And this is interesting. It says that it was Utah's 5th largest city at the time. I don't know where exactly the people who were here came from, what parts of the western US, of the West Coast. I assume like San Francisco area, among others. Can you imagine going from San Francisco and being brought to here? Ugh, brutal. Here's a map of the area. It was 1 square mile. Lots of blocks of barracks that housed people and families. Gymnasium, military police, hospital, administration, warehousing, and then just barbed wire fence and guard towers all the way around. Whole families were just uprooted and left and forcibly brought to these camps. It's really terrible. And I guess that's it. I mean, like I said, there's not much to see out here. I just wanted to come to the site and see it for myself. Gonna head home now. I'm about 3 hours away. Hope you enjoyed this video and today's adventures. Let me know what your favorite part was. Hope you enjoyed this trip. This was a rough trip for me. I got sick and I'm feeling better now, thank you. And the weather has been kind of lousy the last couple of days. Trying to combine the SUV RVing stuff with the fishing stuff was difficult, and I'll adjust that more in future trips. Hope you enjoyed it still. We had some good times together, and I'll see you in the next one.